Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Friday, February 5th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the solar plexus chakra and guided by space. And today is actually the beginning of a new 13-day wave spell. And so the galactic energy of today is going to preside over the next 13 days. And there will be an individual galactic signature for each day, but it will fit into the framework of the larger galactic signature for this wave spell, which is the red magnetic Skywalker energy. And this is a beautiful energy to be having as the presiding energy for the next 13 days, because this energy is all about exploration, space, and wakefulness. And with that magnetic tone, we're talking about unifying with and attracting our purpose. And so we're really walking our path toward our purpose over the next 13 days, unifying with that. Unifying with the collective energy as well. This is the first step in that process of finding our purpose, is when we begin to become aware that we are one consciousness. We are one different expressions of the one being, right? And so when we begin to understand this, we naturally begin to become attracted to our purpose, because we understand that there is something much larger at work than just the individual self. And so that begins the process. As we unify with the whole, we unify with the self, we unify with our purpose, and that becomes magnetically attracted to us. Excuse me. And so over these next 13 days, we'll have that overriding tone, and worked into that, we have this red Skywalker energy. And so we're really going to be exploring our path. We're going to be exploring our purpose. The red Skywalker energy asks us to practice wakefulness. And so this means being very aware. Wakefulness is awareness. Being very aware of everything that pops up on our path, noticing it, taking stock of it. And as we notice what is coming towards us on our path, we begin to notice if that path resonates with us. And the red Skywalker energy is really beautiful because it reminds us we can choose a different path at any time. We don't have to be paralyzed by indecision, because if we choose the path that doesn't resonate, we can always turn around. We can always take a different route. There are unlimited, endless options available to us. And we have that beautiful power of choice in each and every moment. And we can make those choices from that place of wakefulness. This is also an energy that talks about unifying above and below and being perfect, clear channels for the energies, for the messages, for the understandings, for the experience that is filtering through us. And so really working on that. And this is an energy that really calls us to evolve as well, to shed everything that doesn't resonate with us and step into deeper resonance with ourselves, and to really blaze that new path forward, that original path that really resonates with us. And so it's about shaking things up. It's about doing things differently, doing things ways that they've never been done before. So there's a very revolutionary kind of energy to this red Skywalker energy. There's a lot to it, and it's really, really gorgeous energy that we are stepping into right now. It's all about transcending old paradigms and conditionings, transcending limitation, really calling upon and marshaling our inner resources, and coming to that place of empty space within, and seeing and understanding the power and the possibility that lies within that empty space, within us and within all things. That's where all possibility exists. The affirmation for today is, I unify in order to explore attracting wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. And with the astrology today, we do currently have the moon still in Scorpio as I am recording this, but the moon will be shifting into Sagittarius later today. Not that much later, really probably in the matter of a couple hours here. And so we've got that sort of the Scorpio into the Sagittarius. And so that intense, intimate emotionality that gives way to that fiery, inspired, explorative kind of energy, which meshes very well with this red Skywalker energy. And so we can expect that, and we can anticipate that. If things have felt a little heavy this morning, they will lighten up as we move as we continue to move forward throughout this day. We have the sun moving deeper into this stellium of planets in Aquarius. And so we're feeling that energy. We're building up to that new moon energy now. I'm hoping Sunday, I think I should have time to get that new moon video out for you guys. But it's just this beautiful manifestation energy, this incredible wealth of Aquarian energy, which also meshes very well with this red Skywalker energy. So I really like that for us. We also have the moon in a sextile to Venus and Pluto today, and trining Chiron. And so I see this as a really positive energy, especially it can be very deep and intimate when with the moon in Scorpio, and as the moon moves into Sagittarius, there's still this beautiful energy, this energy of connection. We're going to be wanting to connect today. We're going to be wanting to connect deeply, because remember, even as the moon moves out of Scorpio, it's still sextiling Pluto. So there's going to be this depth, there's going to be this rawness, there's going to be this realness to our interactions today. And we're really going to be wanting to feel, right? Because the moon is feeling. We're going to want to feel beyond the surface today, especially when it comes to our relationships and our partnerships with others. We also have, what else going on here that I wanted to touch on? There was something. Yes, we still have this Venus conjunct Saturn energy going on. So there is that serious undertone. We're looking at our relationships. We're looking at our finances as well. Long term. Everything, the way that we're viewing things is long term. It's commitment oriented right now. And so definitely a likely day as far as commitment and things like that go. If that's something, if anyone is in a relationship right now in a sort of strange place, there's a lot of energy for supporting that commitment if it's meant to be, right? And this is that energy where we're really looking, we're being wakeful, right? And so we're noticing very much right now what feels as though it is meant to be, what resonates in our reality, and what does not. And this absolutely includes relationships. So definitely a make it or break it time as far as that goes, starting with that Venus-Pluto conjunction. And as Venus moves forward and makes these other connections, she's really putting us through our paces. She's really asking us to get in touch with what it is that we truly want, what has substance for us, what has structure for us and security, right? With that Saturn energy too. What makes sense in the long term? What do we want to put our long-term energy into when it comes to financial business decisions, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to all of these things and any of these aspects of our lives that are pleasurable and beautiful and they carry that Venusian energy with them. We also have Venus being squared by Uranus. And so this is an interesting energy. Uranus is squaring Venus. So of course, Uranus is also squaring Saturn and lightly squaring Jupiter, because they're all within this stellium energy, right? And conjunct true black moon right now. So that's that heavy rebellious, that unpredictable energy in the air. There could be situations like if we're not seeing something clearly, Uranus could come in and show us a different side of that, really, especially working with that Mercury retrograde and Aquarius energy. Really show us something we didn't see before. Perhaps put a situation in our reality that shows us something. If we're just having trouble connecting that, it may push us. We may have it's a very unexpected energy. So Uranus is that wild card energy. So we really don't know what we're going to get, but it is guaranteed that whatever we get is going to be for our highest benefit and our highest evolution. But we're really looking at that. We're really looking at Uranus is coming in. It's almost like, and we have a lot of this energy of seriousness and structure and form, and Uranus is coming in and being like, okay, especially with Saturn, right? Like, all right, so maybe all of that makes sense, but what does that really feel like? Like, what do you really think about that? Does that resonate with you, right? Because this is the energy that rules Aquarius. This is the energy of authenticity. This is the energy of rebellion. And so it's really reminding us, okay, but remember also to be free. Does this make sense? This is logical, but does this feel like it sets you free? And so anywhere where we're still feeling boxed in, Uranus, especially with that true black moon energy, is going to be pushing to set us free and to help us to understand that we can have structure and security and we can have all of these things in our lives, but at the same time feel free. We don't have to feel trapped by any aspect of our lives. And so I feel like Uranus is just kind of coming in and reminding us of that right now. kind of pushing us out of our comfort zone. This is very much a time of being pushed out of our comfort zone. There are two ways to do this, right? When it's time to leave our comfort zone, we can either jump or we can be pushed. And so that decision, I think, for a lot of people is really coming to the forefront right now, which is really fun and interesting, at least in my perspective. Okay, we're gonna pull a Beyond Lemuria card to start today. Clear. Let's get some guidance for Friday. That's kind of a lot of cards here. Yeah, we're gonna see. We have air transformation and stepping through. All right, fine. I wasn't necessarily going to take these, but I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we're talking about that transformation and the air energy. This is all about communication. This is all about knowledge. This is all about information, right? And logic. And we have all of these planets in the air sign of Aquarius right now with this Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. So there's definitely, if you guys didn't check out the Mercury retrograde video, I encourage you to. We talked about how this series of Mercury retrogrades feels like it's really upgrading the way that we think, the way that our mental processes work, moving us into a higher state of mind. And so I like this air energy coming through. I love this card, right? And then with the transformation, right? That transformation that is occurring and the stepping through, this is that this is that energy of jump or be pushed kind of thing. This is stepping into the next phase of our evolution, stepping, walking through the fears, walking through all of that old stuff that we're shifting out of, that this wave spell is assisting us in shifting out of, right? All those old paradigms, all of those old ways of seeing and being and viewing the world. And just really stepping, it's like that, as we step out of that, right, this transformation that is occurring within us is giving us the courage to begin to step through. And then as we step through, it causes an even deeper transformation. And so I really like those energies together and the way those really play off of each other. And we're seeing this, like whether we are willing participants or not, we are being transformed right now. And so we can either fight against it or we can embrace it. We can just embrace and know that, like, with the, oh, I didn't even notice the air card says paradigm shift on the bottom, so that's perfect. We can be attached to the image that of ourselves that we had before, or we can open up to the fact that we may not know who and what we are. And that's absolutely beautiful because that leaves so much room to discover. And I'm going to take a look here. Is there anything else that I want to to read here for you guys? Air. An innovative way of existing, new earth energies, inspiring others, fresh air, flying higher than you have before, more expansive perspectives, and consciousness shift. Yeah, that's it right there. That's what's causing this transformation that is allowing us and giving us the courage to step through into a new identity, a new version of ourselves, a new version of our reality, a new experience of the world, right? As we shift and change and our perspective shifts and changes, our experience of the world shifts and changes as well. Clear. And this is how we initiate that new earth, as we talked about with that collective energy, right? With that that unifying tone that we have, as because we are so connected, as our perspective shifts, as our understanding shifts, we shift everything. We shift this entire planet. And then we have trust the niggle. What's the little niggling feeling trying to tell you? All right, so somebody's trying to make a decision here. This is about us. This is about us trying to make a choice, trying to make a decision. And that energy coming through is perfect, right? Because we talked about with this wave spell, with the red Skywalker energy, we don't have to be so worried about making the wrong choice. Because there is no wrong choice, first of all, but we can always turn around and choose another path, right? So, but there are people I'm feeling who are needing to make a decision right now and trying to figure out what to do. And so you're also being guided to rest, deep replenishment. Take a step back. If whatever this decision is that you are attempting to make right now, you have that little internal guidance that's sort of tickling at you right now, trying to show you the way forward. And so it's all about just embracing that feeling. And the best way to really get in touch with that feeling is to take a step back, to retreat, to silence a lot of the outer noise and the noise in the mind, right? So meditation, always great when we're trying to make decisions. But it's just allowing that, like taking that time out so that message can become more clear. And this is also about just this process of really nourishing ourselves right now. Like some of us have been extremely tired. I don't know what was going on last night. Both myself and my roommate could not sleep at all last night. And this happened last week as well. And it was interesting, actually. Me and a friend of ours that we had staying with us had the same exact experience. So it's strange how these energies seem to really be cranking up some of these nights here. But yeah, there's a lot going on. We're receiving a lot right now. So this deep replenishment and nourishment of our systems, of ourselves, of every aspect of our being is absolutely necessary. So how do you nurture you? And that could be slightly different for everybody. Yeah. And so if that little feeling is telling you that you maybe need a little more rest or a little more sleep, definitely listen to that. But it's like with the initiation rite of passage, crossing the threshold, which I love because this says stepping through, right? So we have stepping through and crossing the threshold. And so tell me a little more about this. We have keepers of the earth coming out. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And inner temple devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. And so this rite of passage, just stepping through, I feel like this is sort of the decision that's weighing on some people, the path that you're trying to choose to take. It's almost like, do I cross the threshold or not? Do I move into this new life, this new whatever? There's a lot of changes going on for people. So this could be a new job, this could be a new home, this could be a new relationship. So many different things that this could be is like, do I take that final step? And so Spirit is saying, well, first of all, tune into your heart, retreat, give yourself that quiet space, give yourself the space away from everybody else's opinions and expectations, especially. And you will know the answer. You already know the answer. It'll just become more clear. And it's also reminding you, like, your ancestors are supporting you 100% of the way. For some of you guys, whatever it is, these choices, these decisions, these old cycles that you're leaving behind as you step into whatever this new thing is, like the very act of trying something new is helping and healing your ancestors. And so they're very supportive of you in this process. But it's just like, and it's not just your ancestors, even though this card says ancestors, I'm feeling this is your whole spiritual team. It's just reminding you, like, you're not alone. You are not crossing this threshold. You're not stepping through alone. You are doing that with all of us beside you. For those who need that extra encouragement and support. And then we also have don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And so this is part of the initiation, right? And this is part of that crossing the threshold, is whatever it is that you were considering doing, wherever it is that you're being called to journey, what it is that you're being called to set out on or start or begin. It's going to require you stepping into more of the truth of who you are, more of your authenticity. It's going to require you allowing your light to shine more brightly and not to hold yourself back anymore. I feel like there's a lot of us who have been holding ourselves back in one way, shape, or form or another because we didn't want to. It's almost like it's reminding me once again, and I use this quote from Marianne Williamson sometimes, but it's like, who am I to be so amazing? This is just part of the quote. It's not the whole thing. But the gist of, who am I to be so amazing? Who am I to be so beautiful? Who am I to be so brilliant? That kind of idea, right? And it's like, who are you not to be? Is what she says in that quote. And so it's, like when we shine our light, we automatically liberate others and give them the courage to shine their light as well. And so that's what we're actually doing. It's just, there may be people in our reality that we think are worried are going to see us in a certain light. Just society in general. There's a lot of different reasons why people dim themselves down. Sometimes we see that somebody we care about isn't necessarily keeping up with us, and we want to slow down to try to give them that time, right? That's a way that we dim our light. There's all different ways. So what Spirit's asking you right now is, how do you dim your light? What ways are you doing that? Can you be more consciously aware of that? And then can you begin to allow yourself to move out of that pattern, to cross the threshold into a new existence, a new expression of yourself where you're not dimming your light, where you are 100% authentically who you are, and you let that truth shine out of you like a light. That's sort of the energy. Right? And you can, and if you're saying like, I don't know, like, how do I shine my light? I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know what that means. That's where you tune into the portal of your heart. That's where you live from your heart, where you listen to your heart, you listen to your intuition, you do the things that you're passionate about, you talk about the things that you're passionate about, you move in the areas that you're drawn to move. It's sort of like, if we're trying to find our truth, to find the truth of who we are, to find our purpose, right? We want to look at ourselves like the moth, right? The moth is attracted to the light. It's attracted to the flame. And so whatever that light, that flame is our purpose. That flame is our truth. And so whatever we're being drawn to, the way a moth is drawn to when you turn on your porch light or something, that's where we're meant to go. And we know that little niggling feeling will tell you what it is that you're drawn to. What is that light for you? What is that flame for you? And so really move toward that, and do not be afraid to move toward that because of what others may think. Because it's really ultimately, at the end of the day, what does that really matter? What do we accomplish by making ourselves smaller? What do we accomplish? And you are the only person living your life. And a lot of times we live our lives for other people more than we live them for ourselves. And this beginning of the age of Aquarius is part of that, is the understanding of, no, like, I get to live my life for me. I get to be me. And yes, I understand that you are me. And so in a greater sense, I am also living my life. We're all living our lives for the whole, but also individually. Like, I get to do that. I get to make my own choices. I get to choose my own path. So it's that kind of energy. And then let's see, we get a final card here. That's a bunch of cards, but we had the yes on the top there. That say yes energy. So I think that was popping out. That was sort of like, as somebody who's trying to make a decision right now, Spirit is saying, like, they're telling you to trust your intuition. They're sort of guiding you, tune into your heart, pull back, retreat, pull back your energy, all of that. Choose what resonates most truly and deeply with you. But then they wanted to throw that little yes out there to make it maybe a little bit easier for someone, is kind of how I felt that coming out here. And then dance with life, do something to change your energy. Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, and soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So 2 cards about not having to do it alone. So your spiritual team is backing you. I also feel like as soon as you cross that threshold, you're going to become and feel more connected to your soul tribe as well. And so it's like, it feels lonely on the one side, and we don't want to cross that threshold because we're afraid it's going to feel even lonelier over there. But that's actually where we no longer feel alone. And so it's moving past those fears, moving past those doubts. And if you are in a place where you're feeling heavier today, that energy is feeling heavy, do something to change your energy. Anything that shifts you into a different mindset, into a different mood, into a different vibration. And that could be different things for different people. That could be walking, that could be nature, that could be music, that could be dance, literal dance, right? Yoga, breath work, connecting with somebody who naturally lightens your spirit. Whatever it is that does that for you, do that. If we physically move when we do that, that can really help. Physical movement really helps to shift our energy. And so, yeah, especially if you're feeling that homesickness and you're feeling like that lack of sense of belonging. I feel like a lot of people are really tapping into that. And that's part of why it's scary, because it's like we dim our light. We may not even dim it that much, right? But some of us, we've noticed the more we've shown our light, the more it almost seems like people are repelled, like people fall away, which is a natural part of that process, right? But like that makes us lonely, and we already feel like we don't belong. We already know that we don't belong here. And so it's like this push-pull kind of energy. But it's so necessary for us to shine that light and to let all of that fall away, so that then what's meant for us and who's meant for us can come in. The soul tribe energy can come in. But there is that period sometimes of of feeling displaced, of feeling lonely, of feeling like we're disconnected. And it's okay, and we can draw strength from that, and we can understand that's in those moments, that is when we understand the most the truth that we are never truly alone, because we are forced to seek out that connection with spirit that much more, and that connection becomes that much stronger. And so it all happens for a reason. A lot of light workers spend a lot of time wishing that they were home, but we're here. This is our home right now, and we are here to make it feel like home. That's why we came, to make this feel like home. And we do that by being our true authentic selves, by living from that heart portal, by trusting our intuition, by just being, doing that dance with life. That's what we came here to do. We came here to do that dance with life. All right, I love you guys. And a reminder on the bottom of the deck, of course, to stay grounded. Yeah. I love you guys very, very much. I appreciate you very, very much. If you liked this video, like this video. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. There's also my email in the description box below with a list of the different services that I offer. Please reach out to me if you would like an energy healing, a personal reading, any of the things that I do. I would be very, very happy to do that for you. And drop a comment. Let me know how this is resonating, how you guys are feeling today. I love you and I appreciate you so very, very much.